You know, love, I was absolutely sure I was gonna be the one who ran late. It was an experience. Especially when Mom kept wanting to talk and Dad kept wanting to give me more and more advice. I don't know where the hell it all kept coming from. No, it was all new stuff. I thought I'd heard it all over the years, but somehow the two of them just kept bouncing off of each other and building on top of what the other one said and finding these rabbit holes that they just rocketed down at full speed. I should probably actually contact Guinness. I am absolutely positive I was being held hostage in the world's longest cooperative TED Talk. It felt like every thought led to a doctoral-level lecture. I'm actually pretty surprised I got out of there without them assigning me a thesis to present and defend. Oh my god, yes, please. I'm starving. How was work today? Holy shit. Oh. That's the one you were... your last one, right? Were you able to help? Good. I'm glad. You know, I love that EMH teams exist, and I'm so proud of you and the work you do every single fucking day. I just wish there was a way to make it so that things didn't have to necessarily cut it so close with emergency calls like that. Why shapers can't gate, why wielders can't take passengers with them when they gate. I don't get it. Did they ever go into depth with any of that in your classes back in college? They didn't with mine, but, you know, shifter magic. We can't touch warding or gating anyway, so they don't exactly devote any of our class time to it. Really? That just feels like a question someone would have asked or tried to figure out at some point. Oh, but I guess if it just doesn't work, the why of it isn't something you'll spend time beating your head against. Oh, unless you're getting a degree in theoretical magics or maybe magical history? I don't know. Are we doing Mexican or German for dinner tonight? No, either's fine. But which one do you... Look, you had the long, stressful day. You spent your day saving people. I just had to talk to my parents. Which one do you feel like having? Okay, fine. Do we keep going straight here, or do we take a right and cross the bridge? Oh my god. I don't feel like forcing my way through all the tourists to cross the bridge. At least going straight, there's somewhat of a path. So, Mexican it is then. I was about to open up the coin toss app on my phone is what. But that was still a dirty trick. And it's one I'm going to keep in mind for next time. What, good enough for thee but not for me? Oh, I don't think so, love. Well, you have no one to blame but yourself, really. I don't know what else to tell you. In the meantime, though, I will take care of getting us on the list. The line looks a little long, and I know how you are about crowds after a shift like you just had. Of course, love. Hi, how many? 2. It'll be about a 30-minute wait. Is that all right? Yeah, that's fine. What name, ma'am? Darcy. All right, if you'll take this, we'll buzz you when your table's ready. Thanks. It's gonna be about half an hour. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of a good thing we sort of enjoy each other's company. We might be screwed otherwise. I am glad the weather's so nice. I'd hate to be waiting cramped inside with this many people. But out here, with you, next to the river, I'll take this any day. They're happy for me, I think. Dad looked a little bit wounded. You know that look he gets when he's hurt but doesn't want to rain on someone else's parade? Yeah, the corners of his eyes don't sit quite right. That look didn't leave him the whole time I was there. And that hurt some, but honestly, it frustrated the shit out of me. They both told me how proud they were of me, of how they aren't surprised that Hope would ask me to step up or that Liam nominated me for the position. Dad kept saying how I was going to do great things and that this was the perfect opportunity for me. But then he wanted to look at me like that, and I just... I wanted to reach across the table and shake him. If you honestly, truly believe with everything in you that I can do great things in a position of leadership like this, if you actually have full faith in my ability to do the job well, and to do it in such a way that'll lead to the betterment of the group, but you wouldn't let me do it for you, where you obviously actually wanted me to be. You don't get to be hurt when I try to spread my wings somewhere else. You just don't. You either actually have that faith in me and you mean it, or you don't. And honestly, the politics excuse just feels like more and more bullshit the older I get. I don't know. Maybe I'll feel differently when I'm in it. I mean, heavy is the head that wears the crown and all that. And I don't want to say things won't ever be complicated, but it honestly feels like so much of their problem is just tied up in wanting to maintain tradition due to the age of their group and the status it holds because of it. At what point does tradition become a lodestone rather than a fond, familiar, suggestion. I don't know. Maybe that's a question for the philosophers. Visionary. Sure. Isn't it normal to want to change the world? To try to leave it better than it was when you came into it? Because it feels like it should be. There's a difference between careful, measured progress and stagnation. And it can be a fine fucking line if you aren't careful. There's absolutely something to the whole idea of balancing the needs of a group so large against what seems like a good idea or good plan on the surface, but one that could have hidden pitfalls or snares that could cause internal fracture. I get that part. I'm not upset at that part. But not every idea or plan is like that. Doing something just because it's there or because it's all you know, without being willing to consider other options is just so needlessly rigid and leads to everything surrounding whatever it is that you're trying to preserve becoming rigid with it instead of being meaningful. And sometimes things need to be fractured. It's sort of like if a bone breaks but it isn't set properly before it heals. You have to break it. Fucking healer. You're lucky I love you. And that your smug smile is so damn cute. Unless you have the magic. For the rest of the world, you have to re-break it in order to fix it properly. And sometimes tradition leads to broken bones in the first place. And hewing to those traditions just leads to calcification of the injury. And not all tradition is like that. I will totally admit it. It isn't all bad. Sometimes tradition is more like a geode. It's hiding something so much more gorgeous under the surface. And you have to fucking crack it open to see what's underneath. But if you're only scared to re-break that bone because it might hurt more than what it feels like right now, or if you're only scared to crack open that geode simply because you don't know if you'll like the color of the crystals inside, those seem like shitty reasons to avoid doing it to me. And they're definitely shitty reasons to avoid even considering the benefits you might gain if you did do it. Mm. What was that for? Thank you. I know I tend to pop off about it all. I have all these thoughts, and I want things to be better for everyone. I know that isn't always possible, but that alone doesn't mean we shouldn't try, you know? I just talk a good game. I guess we'll see if I can put anything into action working with hope. I really feel like I can. Tomorrow night, and then Liam moves in 5 days. Hope and her mate are going with him to help. so I'll be getting thrown into the deep end pretty much straight away. But it's one way to learn how to swim, right? Nervous, but ready? If that even makes sense. I didn't expect to have to fully step into it all so soon, but Hope and I talked for a really long time about it earlier today, and Liam sent me a really sweet, supportive text, too. He actually said he's going to email me some stuff, a sort of crash course, I guess. So I've got them in my corner, and they've got my back on it, even if they'll be on their way across the state. And it should all be fine from a standpoint of anything I might need to step in and handle. The only real question mark would have been Millie and her family, but they're all doing really well right now. I'm honestly trying not to think about that too hard right now. Hope and Liam will have 4 days after the announcement to answer questions and offer reassurances and to sort of be my training wheels. And Hope will only be gone for 2 days. I really don't think the group will hit so much turbulence over this that it'll come completely apart around my ears in 2 days. I really do want it to go well for so many reasons. I hope that it will. But it would be stupid as hell to refuse to acknowledge that there might be issues. Hope seems to think it'll all be fine, though. And I trust her, both as a person and as my alpha. And I'm going to choose to put my faith in her judgment. It's what's gotten us all this far. And where we are, I didn't expect it, but it still feels like the right call. Like it's the path I'm supposed to be walking right now. Thank you, love, for walking it with me. I couldn't do it without you.